So I might live to regret this, but I've brought my dog Ruby with me this time. She's never camped before, so we've just come to a local spot just to see how she gets on. So the plan is to have a bit of a wander around, burn some energy off, and then we'll find a spot to get pitched and hopefully have a peaceful night. So come along with us and see how we get on. What are you after? Come on. Go this way. So just found a nice quiet spot in the middle of these woods. Just watering the dog, and then we'll think about clearing all the sticks from this area here and getting the tent set up. So you'll see I bought the QiDian rucksack that you might have seen me do a first look at a couple of weeks ago. Not really walked any great distance with it, so there's not much more I can tell you about it. But for those that are asking about the Taiji 2 tent from 3FUL, I have packed it separately. So this dry bag is the tent inner and outer, and then I've packed the poles and the pegs and the footprint separately. So if you saw that first look video, you'll have seen the pack that this comes in is quite big, and packing it this way separately means that it's just easier to fit inside your rucksack. Right, I think we're getting there. So I'll let you have a look around. We've got the Taiji 2 tent from 3FUL set up. And then inside, I've got the cheap sleep mat that I reviewed the other week with the cheap sleeping bag. I didn't want to use my X-Pad and get it punctured by the dog. Trekology pillow. And then Ruby's got this dog sleeping bag from Energy. It's from Amazon, and it's got zips on both sides so you can open it all up. So obviously put your dog inside, or you can leave it zipped and it's just a mat. And then I've put underneath the offcut of the Caramel sleeping mat that I use at the back of the QiDian rucksack. And then in the other corner, I've just got my clothes in the blue bag, all my dry bags, and then my Novice Wild camper table with my chargers and electricals and my head torch. And then I've just got my food pouch. I've bought the BCB stove and my titanium mug in the vestibule. So I've just come and sat inside the tent for a little bit, just to get this one acclimatised to it. And then we'll go and have a wander round a bit later on. Quite a few wasps and bugs and things flying around as well. So hopefully they'll die down a bit later. There's quite a lot at the top of the tent, but there's none inside the tent yet, so we're all good. Say hello. Right, just a bit of a sit rep. That noise that you might have heard on the video earlier, you might not, was above us and it wasn't flies like I thought, midges, it was a wasp's nest. As soon as I started to walk around with the dog, I could tell that the sound was fading the further I got from where I was. So I think we'd initially pitched underneath a wasp's nest, like you do. What a noob. So we've moved the tent, we've got a new spot here. There's an aeroplane coming over, so I'll stop for a minute. So yeah, like I was saying, we've moved the tent and everything else. One of the good things about this Taiji 2 tent is that it is freestanding. So obviously I just unpegged it, carried it over here, and then went back and just threw everything else into the rucksack and carried it over. So it was just 2 trips. It wasn't easy with this monster, but we got there. And I don't know if you can tell again or not, but it's much quieter here. I can still hear the wasps or whatever they are further over that way, but I don't think there's anything around here. So yeah, now we'll chill for a bit and then we'll think about sorting some food out. So yeah, I think I said earlier, I've just bought my BCB stove to boil some water up. I've not gone that posh this time. Got a pasta pot, but it's a bigger one. I think that was about 80p. And I've just bought a couple of brown cobs or rolls or whatever you want to call them, just to have a dunk. So I'm going to get some water boiled up. We'll see what this is like. And then we'll think about feeding the dog as well. Right, you've seen me eat these before, so you don't need to watch me again. But obviously I do like them because I keep buying them. They're probably not filling enough on their own though. This big pot's only got 260 calories in it. So you probably want a bit of extra, some meat to go with it, or I've just got some cobs or some bread, just something extra to go with it. For the big pot, for 80p, you can't really go wrong at that, I don't think. Just while I remember as well, when we moved the tent, I realised that the footprint for it actually attaches to the inner of the tent. So you can peg it out to make sure that where you're putting the tent is suitable and level. But then once you've done that, you can hook it onto the inner of the tent, and that means that when you move the tent, obviously the footprint comes with it. It's quite a nice idea, I thought. Right then folks, it's just starting to get dark, so I'm going to see if I can get this one settled, and then we'll bring you back in the morning. Morning campers. So I don't think you can see me out on camera because it's still a little bit dark, but we've just woke up. It's about 6:20 in the morning, so we're going to get a few things packed away, and then I'll bring you back when it's light and you can actually see us. Right, hopefully there's a little bit more light so you can now see that I've cleared everything away, and as always left no trace. If you're going to go wild camping, make sure you follow the leave no trace rules as well. So I'm just going to get my bag on, we'll go for a little bit of a walk, and then as it gets a little bit lighter, I'll give you a full summary of all the kit that I bought and how we got on. So yeah, just in terms of what didn't work, my Everbeam head torch let me down. I bought it off Amazon about a year ago. I think it was about 16 quid. It's definitely fully charged because I charged it up before I came, but I could only get it to stay on for a couple of seconds on either the sensor mode or the manual mode, so there's something wrong with that. So if anybody's got any recommendations for a cheap head torch that actually works, drop us a comment below. In terms of bringing the monster along, we had a really good night. It took about half an hour to settle down and get used to the noises and the surroundings, but after that she was pretty much zonked out. We got up about 2 o'clock in the morning for a wee because we both needed one, to be fair, and then up again usual time, 6 o'clock this morning. So yeah, it was really good. It's a totally different experience bringing a dog along than coming on your own though. I won't bring her every time because, like I've said before, wild camping for me is a lot about just escapism and getting some alone time and chilling, but I'll definitely bring her on the odd camp with me. We've had some good fun. How was your night, Ruby?
It was amazing. I've never had so many treats. Don't forget to hit subscribe and it might bring me out again.
This rucksack, the QiDian 46 Pro, it's still too early to tell. I packed it differently this time and messed about with the straps, so it is a bit more comfortable. But as I've said before, I think it's really more of a winter bag. So I'll give it a proper go when the temperatures drop a bit more. I'll give you a full report on it. In terms of the tent, if you hadn't guessed already, I really like it. The colour blends in really well in this sort of woodland setting. The fact that you can connect the ground sheet to the inner meant that I could just roll it all up this morning, all as one, and put it straight into a stuff sack. We had a bit of rain last night as well, nothing too heavy, just a light shower, but it wasn't a problem. I've not had it out in much wind yet, so I need to test that. But so far, yeah, I'm really liking it. So if you want to see more detail on all the features and specs of that tent, I'll put my first look video to it here. Go check that out. We're going to head back to the car, get a drink, get some breakfast, and head home, and we'll see you in the next one.